the Premier League titles won and the Champions League title won, it seems like everything between Mo Salah and Liverpool could be crumbling fast. Now, for me, I called it last season. I said that was the right time for Mohamed Salah to leave. The perfect way for a club legend to leave a club. You've won the first Premier League title with Liverpool, and then you've gone on, you won the Champions League, you've won, I think, some cups along the way, and then this penultimate season, you rounded it up, or rather, Mo Salah should have rounded it up with winning the Premier League, and then riding off to the sunset, heading off to Al Ittihad or Al Nassr, making tons and tons of money, and forever he would have been remembered as an all-time Liverpool legend. I'm not a Liverpool fan, obviously, but I do see him as a Liverpool legend given what he's won and given how long he's been at the club. So how things have broken down right now at Liverpool is just absolutely crazy. No one saw it coming. Yes, Liverpool have been I've been having an absolute stinker of a season, given what they did last season, Arne Slot, his tactics, everything being called into question, and Mo Salah being dropped on the bench. I'm sure you'd have seen, the quotes on different podcast outlets, news outlets, papers, and all that stuff. Yeah. Mo Salah feels like, or rather he felt like he had been thrown under the bus. He felt like he was being used as a scapegoat, for the poor form of Liverpool, because he has been, I think this was the third time he's been on the bench as an unused substitute by Arne Slot, even when Liverpool needed a goal. So you could see where his disappointment, was coming from. You could see where his frustration was coming from. And now, according to Fabrizio Romano, he possibly could be left out of that Champions League squad. Now, some Liverpool fans will be saying, yeah, that's good. Club versus player. Club should always win. Some ex-players, ex-coaches out there, have been saying, the club should stand their ground. Arne Slot should show how strong he is right now. You should send a message with Mo Salah and all that stuff. Yeah, true. Send a message. That's all nice and good. Do what you want to do. But remember, this is Mo Salah, and remember, winning should trump everything else. You having Cody Gakpo playing in place of Mo Salah, that's absolute madness to me. He is a nice, decent player, but is he Mo Salah level? And the more frustrating part, I think, for Mohamed Salah is not even coming off the bench with 20 minutes to go, 15 minutes to go, when Liverpool are in need of a goal. Now, when a coach does that, when a club does that, that just means we don't care anymore. That is whether we lose, or we lose by 5-0, or we win by 5-0. You're not coming off that bench. You're going to sit your behind on that bench in the dugout, and no one's going to see you. So I think there have been some talks around, maybe in January, Mo Salah could be leaving. I don't think he will leave. I think probably he will stay after the AFCON, come back, be at the club till the end of the season at least. So I still felt like he should have left. So let's see what happens with Mo Salah, with all that stuff. Now for Chelsea, more bad news for you guys, more bad news for Chelsea fans out there. I say you guys, but Liam Delap will be out for between 6 to 8 weeks. That is really, really maddening and frustrating for Chelsea fans. I know, because remember when there was the talk about selling Jackson and Jackson going to Bayern and all that stuff. Enzo Maresca came out press conference to say, look, we have two strikers in João Pedro and Liam Delap. Now, Liam Delap is out injured between 6 to 8 weeks. What should Chelsea do? And it's in the kind of fine spot. It's not like he's out beyond January, or too far beyond January, where you say, okay, would have been clearly definite that, okay, go out there and you must go get a striker. Now you're in a spot where the window is short, and anyone you're looking to get is a free agent. Are there really any quality free agents out there that you could be looking to sign up? That's a question for Enzo Maresca and Paul Winstanley and the guys over at Chelsea. But on the flip side, you're stuck with only João Pedro, and João Pedro hasn't really been lighting things up for Chelsea after that brilliant start, the Club World Cup and then the initial stages of the Premier League. He's gone off the ball. He's been playing within himself. He hasn't really been that great. Hasn't felt really clinical. For me, I think he's been requiring or needing, way too many chances to score a goal. which I think if you have Chelsea's ambitions, whether or not you think Chelsea should be title contenders or just win the Champions League or maybe finish in Champions League places again for next season, he would agree that he isn't really doing the business. Whatever your reasons are, whether you're a fan of João Pedro or you're not a fan of João Pedro, that would be pretty clear to you, and I'm sure you admit that much. So what do Chelsea do? And on the other side of things, you think about it, though Liam Delap, he possibly could be back by latest January or early February, you have that time where he has to start reacclimatizing back to playing match, being fit and then being match fit. So Chelsea, do you think you're going out there to sign another striker, or you rock with João Pedro, maybe get Shimi Mueka up with you, or get David Washington as well? For me, David Washington is another player that has been treated poorly by Pochettino first off, and now secondly as well by Enzo Maresca. So I just feel, I'm not saying he should be a starter, I'm not saying suddenly he's the answer to Chelsea's striking problems. I just feel like he could do a job, being part of the squad, maybe coming off the bench, give some support to João Pedro. But on the flip side of it, people argue he doesn't have the Premier League experience to actually do that. But at some point, a player has to get the experience. But I don't even think that will happen. So let's see. It's really interesting, really intriguing, and it's a thing of torment for Chelsea fans out there, looking at their squad sheet and knowing you just have one striker that's not really been on red hot form. So Chelsea fans, Liverpool fans, let me know about your thoughts on this big news for various clubs. Mo Salah, where do you stand? What side of the civil war divide do you stand on? Do you want Mo Salah gone, always rooting for the club, or do you have some sympathy for a player who is indeed a legend of your club? Chelsea fans, how are you feeling about Liam Delap being out? Feeling sad, I know, feeling down. What option do you think the club should go for? Let me know in the comment section. Please hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and subscribe to the channel. Road to 10,000 subscribers. See you on yet another video. Stay well, stay blessed. Bye bye.